So what is the purpose of renovation filters in Archicad? Here we have a floor plan, and let's assume this is the existing status and we need to rearrange the layout. In this case, we will move partitions and see how the filters work. Let's see what filters we have in general. Existing, demolition, after demolition, new construction, and plant status. Each of these filters contains its own parameters set up for displaying in the 3D elements we have in Archicad. So by default, if we look up the parameters of any element, let's say a wall, we press Ctrl T, then choose Properties. All our elements here have the existing status from the start. That is, they will be shown in all views without exception. We also have the options of demolition status and new status. So we can assign the demolition status to some of these partitions to change their 2D and 3D rendering, as well as set up additional views in the Views tab in which they will be shown differently. Let me show you. I will now select several partitions which I need demolished, change their status to demolition, then choose demolition elements in the renovation filter, and these elements will be shown in a different way. You can see how to set up the rendering in the renovation filter parameters, where the default display options for 2D and 3D elements are shown. That is how they are shown on the layout and on the 3D view. We can also see that for each renovation filter, the parameters can change according to element status. That is, in the existing status, the existing elements and the elements to be demolished are shown. Then in the demolition plan, the demolished elements are replaced. Then we move to the after demolition plan, where the demolished elements have been hidden. And in the new elements, we replace demolished elements with new ones. I suggest we hide the demolished elements right away, since we don't need them here at all. And here we are at the plant status, which is our plan in its usual rendering, but with other elements. Let's now go through it all step by step, because it's a lot of information. Now I press OK, since we are at the plant status view. Those partitions are gone. Now for simplicity, let's clean up the navigation menu a little. In the Views tab, we leave only the floor plans and delete all other folders so they don't distract us. So we name these floor plans existing, and this will be our existing status. Here we have our ground floor. Let's go to its parameters. We see that the status is set to existing. Then we switch to demolition plan and we see how these parameters are shown, and save this view in the navigation menu. Press Save Current View. Now we can rename it. Give it a custom name, let's say Demolition Plans. Press Create, then go to New Construction. Here we have no new elements yet, but I'll save this view and now we'll start to fill it in. Using the Alt key, we select this partition, then press Ctrl T, go to Parameters, or if the Reconstruction Filter panel is activated in the top menu, Window, Panels, Renovation. We can set different categories from there. That is, I retrieve the properties, switch to the element called New Status, and start to draw the partition. Let's assume it will be placed here. We draw it, and it is shown in a different color. Now, if we add a door opening, it will be associated with the new partition as a new element. So let's see again what happens. In the existing plans, ground floor, we had this partition layout, then we decided to demolish these two. Go to demolition plan, here is how they are shown, that is, we have removed them, and in the new construction we have constructed a new wall. Now let's consider a more difficult situation. For example, we need to move a door opening. In this case, we don't need to demolish the whole wall, but in Archicad we need to proceed as follows. In any case, this partition has to be specified as demolished. Then we go to the demolition plan. This is how it looks now. Then we select this partition copy it at a certain distance by holding down Ctrl D and dragging it, then press Ctrl, and now we have a copy. See the plus here. Pay attention that I have moved it by exactly 1 meter. Then I replace it with a new element, go to New Construction, and there we can move the door opening by some distance and return the partition to its original location. So here is our plan before demolition, then the demolition plan, and here we have our new elements with the door moved. The same we can now watch on the 3D view, and the renovation filters can be applied immediately from the 3D view. So let's switch them. Here is our existing view, here are the components to be demolished, they are highlighted here too. Here is the after demolition plan, partitions are not shown, and here we have the new element shown, that is the plant status will look like this. To put it simple, this is the simplest way to rearrange building layouts. The renovation filters offer a considerable range of possibilities depending on the specific task.